It started with a lie, a stupid, petty lie, the kind that doesn't just shatter trust. It buries it beneath layers of guilt, confusion, and betrayal. My son, 28 years old, came to stay with us for a few days. It was meant to be ordinary, familiar. He'd visit, spend time with the family, maybe help out a bit. We trusted him. Enough to leave him alone in the house while he watched my 4-year-old granddaughter, his niece, a little girl with pigtails and wide eyes, who adored her uncle without question. But when we came home, the TV was gone. He told us that she'd pulled it down, that it shattered, that it couldn't be salvaged, so he took it to the dump. I remember my daughter, the little girl's mother, looking devastated. She and her husband didn't hesitate. They paid to replace it that same day. No hesitation, no complaints, just guilt, responsibility. They felt awful that their child had caused damage, and they made it right. But something felt off. My husband was the first to notice. He pulled up the footage from our security cameras. We keep them around the house, not because we don't trust our kids, but for safety, for peace of mind. And what we saw? There was no accident, no crash, no 4-year-old tipping over a television with her tiny hands. All we saw was my son, calmly, deliberately, lifting the TV off the stand and walking it out of the house. No damage, no hesitation, no urgency. The screen wasn't broken. The frame wasn't cracked. It was fine. We confronted him. We asked, not with fury, but with confusion, with disbelief. He doubled down, said the footage must have glitched, said the moment when the TV broke must have been cut out, as if we wouldn't see through that. And then, silence. No remorse, no explanation, until we got a phone call. His girlfriend, the woman he lives with, was on the other end. Her voice was shaking. She said she couldn't stay quiet anymore, that she felt sick about what had happened. She told us the truth. He hadn't thrown the TV away. He hadn't even thought about it. He stole it, made up the whole story, lied about his niece, let his sister pay for the damages, while the TV sat in his living room. My blood ran cold. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't even about the television. It was about the choice, the intentional, calculated choice to betray every single person who trusted him and to use a child as his scapegoat. He didn't come clean. His girlfriend did. So we filed a police report, not out of vengeance, not out of hate, but because we had reached a point where the truth could no longer be swept under the rug. And when the police arrived at his house, it was his girlfriend who let them in. The TV was right there. We got it back. But everything else? The trust, the love, the belief that he would never cross a line this deep, that stayed broken. And yes, we decided to press charges. Because what else do you do when your adult son steals from you, lies to your face, blames an innocent child, and shows no sign of remorse? Do you sit him down for a talk? We did. Do you give him another chance? He already had it. Do you wait for him to steal again? Hurt someone else? The hardest part wasn't calling the police. The hardest part was realizing that somewhere along the way, my son had made a choice I couldn't fix. A choice to put his selfishness above his family, above his niece, above his sister, above us. And maybe that choice didn't start with this TV. Maybe it was just the first time we caught him. The fallout came fast. My daughter was furious, not just for the money, but for the emotional wreckage he left behind. For the moment, she looked into her daughter's eyes and believed she'd broken something. when all along, the real damage came from her brother. My granddaughter didn't understand. She's 4. She just cried when her mom seemed sad. She didn't know her name had been used as an alibi in a lie she never told. And my son, he said nothing. No apology, no explanation, no effort to make it right. He ghosted us for a while, maybe out of shame, maybe out of fear, or maybe just because he didn't think we'd follow through. But we did. We had to. Because without consequences, what's left? What message would we be sending him? That he can lie and manipulate and steal from the people who love him most and get away with it because of blood? Because of family? No. Family is not a shield for bad behavior. It's a reason to expect better. I didn't press charges to destroy his life. I pressed charges because he was already doing that to himself. And maybe, just maybe, this was the wake-up call he needed. I've lost sleep. I've cried in silence. I've second-guessed myself 1,000 times. What kind of mother calls the cops on her own son? What kind of parent turns their child over to the justice system? The kind who knows that love doesn't mean enabling. That protecting one child shouldn't mean sacrificing another. That being a parent sometimes means doing the unthinkable, because the alternative is letting your child believe they can hurt others without consequence. And so, here I am, asking the world what I already fear to be true. So, am I the asshole? This story cuts deeper than just a stolen television. What we're looking at here is a breach of trust so profound, it threatens to unravel the very idea of family. It's a story about boundaries, about responsibility, about what happens when love is tested not by hate, but by betrayal. And the question that echoes isn't just, was it wrong to press charges? It's, what do you do when someone you love crosses a line you can't unsee? Do you protect them or protect the others they're hurting? Do you offer mercy or justice? Or is the hardest truth of all that sometimes love is justice? We all want to believe our kids, our siblings, our partners will do the right thing. But when they don't, when they lie, steal, manipulate, and hide behind the people who love them most, it's not just a mistake. It's a test. And you don't pass that test by pretending it didn't happen. You pass it by doing what's right, even when it breaks your heart. So now, I turn this over to you, our AITA Story Vault family. What would you have done? Would you have pressed charges? Would you still open your door to him again? Comment below. Because in a world where trust is easy to lose and hard to rebuild, your voice matters. And maybe, just maybe, someone out there needs to hear it. This has been AITA Story Vault, where real stories crack open the hardest questions. Until next time, stay strong, stay honest, and remember, sometimes the people who love you most are the ones who hold you most accountable.